It was an ordinary afternoon at a small roadside diner, the kind of place where the smell of coffee lingers, the jukebox hums softly, and regulars know each other's names. But that day, something happened that no one in the diner would ever forget. At a corner booth sat a young girl, no older than 12, quietly enjoying her sandwich. She had a bright smile and curious eyes, but she also walked with a limp. A childhood accident had left her reliant on a prosthetic leg. Most people didn't notice or didn't care, but 3 boys at the counter did, and what started as whispers soon turned into cruel laughter. They thought they were untouchable. They thought no one would stop them. But in less than an hour, they would learn a lesson they'd never forget, when a rumble of engines outside announced the arrival of unlikely heroes. Her name was Emily. She came here often with her mom, who worked long shifts at the hospital. Today, Emily had walked in by herself, determined to show she was strong and independent. She carried a book under her arm, her favorite mystery novel. She slid into the booth, ordered her usual grilled cheese, and quietly read as she ate. But across the room, 3 teenagers noticed her. They weren't much older than Emily, maybe 15 or 16, but they carried themselves with arrogance, like kings of the diner. One nudged the other and sneered. "Look," he whispered, "Pegleg Emily is here." The others chuckled, just loud enough for her to hear. Emily lowered her book. She tried to ignore them, but the laughter cut through the clinking of plates and chatter of the diner. She shifted uncomfortably. The waitress, busy refilling mugs, shot the boys a warning glance, but they didn't stop. The boys grew bolder. One slid out of his stool and sauntered toward Emily's booth. "Hey," he said mockingly, "need help hopping home today?" His friends burst out laughing. Emily's face flushed crimson. She clutched her book tighter, wishing she could disappear. "Leave me alone," she whispered. But the boy only leaned closer. "What's the matter? Can't stand on your own 2 feet?" The entire diner seemed to fall silent. A couple near the window frowned, but no one moved. Emily's eyes brimmed with tears, but she refused to let them fall. She straightened her back. "Stop it," she said firmly. The bully smirked. "Or what?" And before anyone could intervene, he shoved her tray of food onto the floor. Her sandwich and fries scattered across the tiles. Gasps echoed through the diner. Emily froze, humiliated. The waitress hurried forward. "That's enough. Sit down before I call your parents." But the boys just laughed, retreating to their booth. Emily knelt to gather her food, her hands trembling. It was then that the low, distant sound of engines began to rise. The sound grew louder, closer, until the walls of the diner seemed to tremble. Then the doors swung open. In walked 6 bikers, leather jackets glistening with patches, heavy boots thudding against the floor. Their presence was commanding. The diner fell silent. The waitress froze mid-pour. The bullies exchanged nervous glances. At the head of the group was a tall man with a gray beard, his jacket emblazoned with the emblem of a wolf. He scanned the diner, his eyes narrowing at the sight of Emily crouched on the floor, wiping her tears. He strode over. "Sweetheart," he said gently, "did someone hurt you?" Emily looked up, startled by the contrast between his rough appearance and soft voice. She hesitated, then nodded. The biker turned slowly toward the 3 boys. His expression hardened. The room grew heavy with silence. "You think it's funny," he growled, "to pick on someone who's already fighting her own battles?" The boys fidgeted. "We were just joking," one mumbled. "Joking? Does this look like a joke to her?" He pointed to Emily, whose hand still shook. Another biker stepped forward. "Tell you what, how about you pick on someone your own size?" The boys shrank back into their booth, eyes wide. No more laughter, no more taunts. The bearded biker knelt beside Emily, picking up her scattered fries with surprising tenderness. "Don't you worry about them. They're not worth your tears." He slid into the booth across from her. "What's your name?" "Emily," she whispered. "Well, Emily," he said with a smile, "you've got friends now." The waitress, emboldened, pointed to the bullies. "You three, out, and don't come back until you learn some respect." They scrambled out the door, humiliated. The bikers stayed. They ordered pie and milkshakes, filling the diner with laughter and stories. Emily smiled for the first time that day. One of them even gave her a small patch from his jacket, saying, "This means you're family now." When Emily finally left, escorted to the door by her new protectors, the entire diner watched in awe. The sight of a fragile girl walking beside 6 towering bikers told a story none of them would ever forget. That day, Emily learned she was never truly alone. And the bullies, they learned that cruelty may seem easy until compassion stands in its way. Because true strength isn't about fists or fear, it's about kindness. And sometimes the fiercest guardians wear leather and ride Harleys.